Oh, hello. Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back. Sunday Night Live. We're back with Sky Bet League One Live. It's the big one. Game week 2. Wow, we are what? 44 to go, 2 game weeks done. And it was a good game week. We had our first 0-0 of the season. We had drama, we had goals, we had red cards, we had own goals, we had new things happen. We had tussles in away ends. We had a couple of good away wins. We had a couple of good home wins. We had red cards. We had the lot. To join me to go through this latest instalment of League One Live can only be this man. How are you, mate? You okay? Good weekend.
Do you know what, mate? Yeah, it was a good weekend, actually. I had a very nice time in Wimbledon, albeit the result and the referee, which we can come on to later. But yes, I had a lovely day out. Got on went on the train with Mr. Flowers and Connor, 2 good lads. Had a nice time, nice Popeyes. Good to see some of the other lot. But yeah, it was good. Away end, I'm sure you've seen videos. It was bouncing yesterday, despite the bad result. But yeah, no, good weekend. I'm looking forward to chatting through it with you, mate. Of course.
Let's say hello to the people in the chat. Hello to Paul, who was in nice and early. Yeah. Unfortunately, we'd just like to cancel the open top bus parade after Lincoln City did win the league after their victory.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. This is the man who are 2 from 2 in League 2 and go. He phoned me earlier.
No. What do I say to you? What? 6 points. Another victory it's another victory closer to where we want to get to.
But that's not what you mean.
We're not talking about Fleetwood. Fleetwood in League 2. We'll talk about Fleetwood next year. It's fine. On League 2 Live. Now, David. I appear, since being friends with you, you've caught the Knappman disease of going 2-0 up and losing 3-2. I gave it him last year. I've now given it you. So, welcome to the club. But we all love going 2-0 up and not winning. Tell you what, like yesterday, when we were 2-0 up, I could see Charlie Hayne in the away end. So I looked over at 1-0. I tried going pointing, but he didn't see. Second time, he glanced over. Anyway, he was fuming. So then I'm going to him, flash. When they get one back, I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like this on the desk. I'm like, I can't watch this. I genuinely, it was horrible. Yeah. Hello, Sue. You're right. All right, Ian. Hello, Lynx. Hello, Nige.
It's just Lincoln fans here at the minute, isn't it?
Hello, Parmex. Hello, James. Town are going to put him 38 points. That's for a red league.
He's winding me up.
But yeah, big win, David, against a good side. They'll get going. They are a very, very. When they get going on the Darryl clock, they'll be hard to stop. I genuinely mean that. Shall we get into it? League One Live. If you haven't already, please drop us a like and a subscription. We're going to start off in Devon, where Blackpool's days started with a disaster. They signed Dale Taylor, who wasn't registered in time. He basically hung the people out of the football club for that. Unfortunately, couldn't quite sort it, whatever out, and he wasn't able to play, so we're left with 6 substitutes. Then they get beaten 4-1 in a disastrous away performance. Steve Bruce said it's the worst they've been since being at the football club. However, for Exeter, it's a superb victory. And in Jack Fitzwater, Jaden Wareham and Reece Cole against Blackpool, Exeter had 3 different players to record both a goal and an assist in the same EFL match for the first time in Opta's records since 2013-14. That's when he started recording.
Look at you reading the same material as me. Look at you. Very good, Mr. EFL stat pat for the weekend of the 8th of August of the week.
Oh, absolutely. And to be fair, it's good for Exeter because they did end a winless run across their last 6 league games against the Seasiders. They did lose their last 3. So you have those sides that you normally are bad against. And Blackpool, well, I'm always a believer they are a grower, not a shower. When it comes to them at the end of the season, they grow as seasons go on. And since the 2014-15 season, where Blackpool actually got relegated, they'd only won their first away game of the season in a league season just once out of their last 11 attempts. A bad day on the road for the Seasiders, as bad as it pretty much can get. Blackpool are in the bottom 4 after 2 games played. However, there's still 44 matches to go. I think issues there. They've conceded 7 goals. All 7 goals you look at, 5 of them, in my eyes, if not 6, are very, very soft, are very avoidable, and are very, very poor. Not a great day for Blackpool. Excellent Exeter. Bloody awful Blackpool.
We're 1 game into League One Live, and you've already said they're a grower, not a shower. We are officially back, ladies and gentlemen, with the innuendos. I don't think anybody saw this coming, did they, Ben? Really? Certainly not yourself and I when we predicted the game at the back end of last week's show. Exeter were outstanding. I think you have to give the credit as much as bad as maybe Blackpool were. Exeter still had to do a job on them, and that they did. They played particularly well. I mean, you're thinking Reece Cole, Jaden Wareham to get a goal on his home debut, that would be a massive thing. Shane's a top bloke.
Thank you so much, Shane. Appreciate that.
He's such a nice bloke, isn't he, Shane Bongos? And where's he from, Ben? What team does he support? Of course he does. He's a Lincoln City fan, so that makes perfect sense as to why Shane's willing to part ways with his cash. But yes, a good performance from Exeter, out of possession, absolutely outstanding against the Blackpool team, who you think would have the better over the game, but they were clinical. 7 shots on target, 4 goals, 4 different goal scorers, a couple of assists in well as well. Jaden Ware and Reece Cole getting assists and goals, like you mentioned. Joe Whitworth didn't have a huge amount to do and was a bit of a spectator, but it is a fantastic win for Exeter. Everyone had them down there in their bottom 4, yourself included, myself included.
It's 1 win.
It is 1 win, and nothing is won and lost in August, and I'll make that point later on in the episode. But this is a very strong start at home, and you feel like if Exeter are going to stay up this season and consolidate as a League One team continuously, they need to make SJP a particularly hard place to come. And this is a Blackpool team, Ben, that are well fancied. Yes, they made mistakes, but Exeter still capitalised on them pretty well and put them to the sword. So they'll want to beat most teams at SJP. They think with the big bank and the fans that they've got there, you've been to Exeter, Ben. I've been to Exeter. It's a hard place to go, especially when it's rocking. And that home crowd really gets up and behind the team, and they're almost like a 12th man. But yeah, fantastic result for them. It shuts up a few pundits perhaps who had them to go down, because, like I say, this is a decent Blackpool team, and Blackpool, like you say, it's a poor defeat, 2 poor games back to back. But like you say, Ben, 44 to go. I don't think Blackpool fans will be worried. I think the quality will outshine the quality they've brought in, certainly this week, and Dale Taylor when they eventually get him registered, and Malcolm Abui, who's a fantastic young player that's come through Derby and got to move to Palace. I think this Blackpool
have you watched him?
Yes, for Derby, under 18s. You didn't think I had you? There you are.
I didn't say that. I'm like, you've not watched this guy. And one thing I will say is Exeter were brilliant. They had 17 shots, 7 on target. They took the game to Blackpool. Outstanding. And you can only judge on what I've seen. And full credit for that. In the last 2 seasons, for 10 games, Exeter have been brilliant. They have. And you can't fault them for that. And I'm not saying this is going to happen again. But then after that, they go to Peter. So I want to see it to be a bit more sustainable for Exeter. So my challenge for them now is make this sustainable. Try and do it more often. Try and make it over the course of October, November, December. They're normally good till October. Then they get eaten up till January. That is my only worry with them. But Gary Caldwell did well last year to keep them up, to steer them from safety. Did a good job. Full credit. Nothing against Exeter before the comments will come in, evidently. On Blackpool, they have signed a host of new players, and it will take time to click. Blackpool have lost back-to-back games. It's 2 games into the season. Okay? You will lose back-to-back games in the season. You will go for a 5-game bad patch. That could be at the start of the year. That could be in the midway through the season. it's 2 games. If you lose those 2 games in January and you're 4th or 5th, they don't really get counteracted because it's the start of the year. People are talking about Blackpool and getting on the high horse. You look at Blackpool yesterday. Yeah, there was 3, 4, 5 of those players that literally started yesterday weren't at the football club last year. Ennis is a new signing. That's 6 new signings. Yes, he was there on loan last year. The back 4 had a Hickway in and Peacock Farrell, who, for me, I struggled to see as a goalkeeper. Lee Evans got an assist yesterday, and I'm often scratching my head seeing he'll get a goal contribution, but what else does he offer? I think Honeyman coming in, I feel that he can be a real option. You look at the bench yesterday, it had Blocks, and it had Finnegan, it had Hamilton, obviously the lad that you just talked about as well, and it had Dale Taylor as well.
What's his name?
To come into that. So Blackpool will be more than fine. Blackpool will grow. And I'm not just saying that, Blackpool will grow. And I'm more than sure once it gets going at Bloomfield Road, it will. Just a couple of wins, put everything right. They need a win, they need a clean sheet. I remember a few years ago when they changed, I think they just changed a couple of things. They went back to 4-4-2. I think they brought Maxwell into the side. I think they had another keeper, and I can't remember who they had in at the time, but they brought Chris Maxwell into the team. And when they brought him in, if you've got a good goalkeeper who can command the box, I feel that Blackpool will be more than fine this year. They weren't great yesterday, but for me, I am sick to death of it. Every time someone loses 4-1, everyone will batter Blackpool. No, Exeter were excellent yesterday. They deserve the credit, and they made Blackpool look worse than they are. They forced them into mistakes. Great victory. And yeah. Burton Albion, well, at half-time, they were winning the league. 2 wins from 2, 138 points, never conceding a goal ever again. Gary Bell, you're up for an MBE. Come 90 minutes, Gary Bell, you're out. No, I'm only joking. David's not quite Jay. 37-year-old Dave McGoldrick scored a goal in his 20th consecutive season. Longevity for that man. And Conor Horan played with him at Derby County, got promoted with him at Derby County just over 2 years ago now. Well, no, just over 15 months ago, really, when you think about the end of kind of the season. So, 2 seasons ago still. Longevity, what a signing, in the right place. I thought the goal for the 3rd goal was exceptional. Burton in that first half really took the game to Barnsley, and you can really see why Barnsley have been involved with so many goals, especially at home. They've actually now been involved in 74 goals in their last 24 home matches, where they've won 7, drawn 8, lost 9. They've scored 36 and conceded 38. They're often a high-scoring team, especially at home. 2-1s, 3-2s, 3-3s, blah, blah, blah. Adam Phillips, again, with a couple of assists yesterday. He's actually now got 33 goals and 25 assists, 58 goal contributions in 133 games. For me, there's not many better midfielders better than Adam Phillips at what he does. He was excellent at Accrington, Stanley and Morecambe. For me, box-to-box midfielder, gets goals, gets assists. Burton going into half-time, 2-0 up, excellent. Penalty kick, and then second goal, goalkeeper in the middle of nowhere, nice tidy finish. On course for another good victory. They come out in the second half a lot better, Barnsley. Burton didn't really do much in that second half, really. And it was going to come. We've been there in away ends. I think we've all been there where you're up against a bigger team than you, and you just feel it coming and coming and coming. A bigger team than us. Every club in the league. So you're thinking it's coming. And it eventually did. And 3 late goals for Barnsley. If Burton go there and get a 2-2, I think they'd probably taken it before the game. At half-time, they wouldn't. Maybe with 25 minutes to go, I think if I offered David a point there, and then he probably would have taken it when Barnsley scored that second goal. And they were so close. But positive. I feel like Burton may learn from that. For Barnsley, 6 goals scored. Full credit to them. Conor Horan. I'm liking what I'm seeing from his side.
Yeah, the game sort of hinged, and I have a Saturday debrief with David, and he's mentioned it there. The game completely changed when Kegs Chout got taken off. I think it was 58 minutes when Burton were still winning the game. They take him off. They bring on Gilligan, who's not been a massive part of the new structure under Gary Bowyer, nowhere near as much as Keggs has, and they completely lost the midfield battle. This is the midfield with Charlie Webster and JJ McKiernan in as well, by the way, who we will come on to later because he had a great afternoon personally, despite losing. But yeah, first half I thought it was perfect away performance from Burton Albion. They sat him when they needed to. They countered when they had the moments, and they took them really well. The penalty, I don't understand why any Barnsley fans or players have got any issues with it. It's a clear elbow to the face. Well taken penalty by Geesley. I think that's what they're calling him in Burton.
Bang on, mate. Bang on the money with that.
What do you mean?
The name.
Yeah, I think that's what they're.
Yeah, I'm not, Matt. I think that's perfect. That sounds great to me. I'm not going to try and correct you. Brilliant.
That's probably because you won't be able to, because you won't get your words out.
Just stop, move on.
But yeah, great second goal as well. A fantastic, well worked goal, and Tavares using that pace to really beat Murphy Cooper to the ball and slip it into the net. And then they sort of hit the self-destruct button, didn't they? They just time and time again the mistakes in midfield. Connor, like you say, when Barnsley, who we have to remember, Ben, have got the best midfield in the league by some distance as well.
I can't believe I said that.
Even over someone like Birmingham. And they're going to compete in the top end of the Championship, and this Barnsley midfield are just far superior to them. That midfield battle is really important, and players like Phillips, players like Luke O'Connell, and players like Davis Keeler-Dunn, when you make mistakes in that midfield area, are going to punish you, and that's exactly what they did. A well-worked goal for the third one. Like you say, I feel really bad for David. We've been there, haven't we? You've been there. I've been there. 2-0 up at a ground where you think you go 2-0 up in. Ben, we were there for Huddersfield last year, weren't you? 2-0 up, thinking, oh my God, we've come here. We've done a great job. We've been outstanding. Then they get the first goal back, and you just think, oh God.
It's the worst scoreline in football.
Eric. It happened a few times last year. Charlton, Stockport, and unfortunately,
Huddersfield.
It's happened to Burton here
you
yesterday.
Were that day,
I was, yeah. But I do think that Burton can take positives out of this performance. I think there are green shoots for Gary Bowyer to look at and implement going in towards the next couple of games, because they were good, certainly in that first half. And if they can play like that against teams, then more often than not, they probably will win a lot of games. Barnsley, like you say, Conor Hourihane, this 4-3-3. Big shout out for Reyes Cleary. I thought he was outstanding when he came off the bench. He added a real bit of dimension and physicality to the front line. Something perhaps they haven't got in other personnel. So yeah, look, Barnsley back-to-back wins. They'll be, Callum Fowler will be having them for 138 points, 100 goals as well. But it's only August. But 2 good wins for a start. They've won at home. They've won away. They've won at a playoff contender. They've beaten a team that probably people think are going to be down the bottom. So they've ticked a lot of boxes this season so far, and that's why Conor Hourihane should be happy.
They need to be better at home. A couple of years, was it 17-18? They didn't lose a game at home under Daniel Stendhal. Them and Luton got the top 2 that year. They both didn't lose at home, which tells you, because as well, I was speaking to Pete Wild yesterday after the game, and he's a big believer, and he said it so many times last year about 17 positive outcomes at home. If you win 51 points at home, that means you can have 6 bad days. If you can have bad days, it happens in football. I'm a big believer. You get 50 points at home, regardless of anything, you will then only, especially in League One, you probably only need 30 points away to get in the playoffs. It'll get 5th place at least, maybe even 20. I think Leyton Orient got in with 75, 76 last 76. I think Leyton Orient got last year. You can have just over a point a game away. You can win maybe 7, and so you're not as reliant. Barnsley haven't been good enough at Oakwell the last few years, and I often speak to people, and I love going to Oakwell. I loved it when we drew 2-2 there. We were 2-1 up there. We went 1-0 up, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. And a lot of people say, oh, you like going to Oakwell because you've been successful there, recently, and you had a great result there. It's often a lot of teams big day out because they get a big allocation. It's a decent away, and it needs to change that. I like the way they've gone to a back 4, and I was a big believer in what Nagel said at Huddersfield about bringing northern football to the football. It's not. That's not a very good accent, is it? But about North, and I've said it for years on the show, and I'm so glad the chairman of a football club has said Northern football and the Southern football are two totally different things. And people come at me with the Man City argument. Premier League doesn't exist, in my eyes, in League One, League Two, National League, no, blah, 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 Championship. You look at the way teams play. There are teams in the Northern that have got more money, disposable money, and want to play in a certain way. I get it. But in the lower leagues of football, in League One and League Two, there's the odd example. For me, Barnsley did not suit a back three. They need back four, they need wingers being paid to taking players on trickery, getting crosses into the box. Whereas Fleetwood are a Northern team, but they need defensive prowess because they might not have the quality in wide areas as a Barnsley have. So it's different types of Northern football. But for me, as a spectator, I would rather watch my team in the North play long ball, direct, over the top. Yes, they played a lot of long balls over the channel. It gets the ball forward quicker. It asks questions rather than pass. Which Barnsley, I think their playing style has not been a Barnsley team in the last years. I've seen more evidence of what Barnsley have played under Conor Hourihane when he was there previously as a player. I think he's playing the way that Barnsley want to play. The fans want to play. That will get the Ponty end up because that Oatwell, it's been silent for a number of years. It's not been what it was. People say they make go Barnes get 11, 12K. That's exceptional at League One level. It's a really, really it's a good gate. That I think it'll probably be in the top 6 averages in the division, and it'll get laughed at because people can get 20, 25,000 fans. Or like fans win games of football. But if you get those Barnsley fans on side, I think they could be in for a hell of a season. For Burton, I think we saw elements of experience, squad depth, and the reasons why we worry about them. Their season won't be judged on Barnsley away. But the test of character now is how do they recover from that? That's the big sense of it. And Barnsley, to be fair, have got a decent record against Burton, only losing 1 of their last 8 at Oatwell against their opposition. Coming into another big game, Stockport County away at Wycombe last year. I think they went there back in the last year. Did they win 3-0? I think in 8 over the Easter period. Mm-hmm. But basically said good night to Wycombe's top 2 chances. And only Birmingham, actually, 19, have won more games in the league than Stockport County.
Again, he's reading the stat.
And it was a superb victory for County on the road. And there's a lot of expectation for Stockport. Yes, they've spent money, but they've lost players as well. Stockport came into the division last year with Louis Barry, did so well. When their player left, everyone thought they'd go to pieces. They actually, as a team, probably improved a little bit. And that's one thing I really, really like. Because you saw Walsall, they fell away without Nathan Lowe, and they've still not recovered even now. Stockport moved on, and they've got a bit more disposable income to do that. I get that. But to go away to a good Wycombe side, they weren't at the best yesterday. Wycombe had more shots on target, more possession. Stockport with a proper away performance, 2-1, great victory, 3 points, back-to-back. They've beaten Wycombe and Bolton, and I reckon in 9 people's out of 10, Wycombe and Bolton are in everyone's. Bolton are probably in 8 out of 10's top 6s, and Wycombe's are definitely in the top 10 in 8 or 9 of them. So they've probably beaten 2 sides that they want to compete against in the back end of the season. Great victory for Stockport County.
Great victory for Stockport County, Ben. I think you're underestimating. It was outstanding. They were perfect in pretty much every way. And Dave Challoner seems to think this Stockport team are going to get better. They've already set the standard pretty high already, haven't they? They were great against Bolton. And yesterday, perfect away performance. Capitalised on the moments when they came. They got themselves 2 clear goals in front. Jack Diamond. I think Jack Diamond's done really well since going there on a permanent. He stepped into that void left by Louis Barry, certainly since sort of January time, on that left-hand side. But he's almost taken over the mantle of being the main man in terms of what Stockport do going forward. Whether Kyle Wootton and maybe Nathan Lowe can challenge him towards this season to be that main man, I don't know. But Jack Diamond, a goal and an assist yesterday. And look, I've been saying it since we had him at Lincoln. He's got it in him. Ben, I said it when we had him. He's just selfish. He just needs to lift his head up a little bit more, and it looks like he's done that because he's now getting assists as well as goals. An outstanding, talented player who certainly has a a future definitely in the top 2 leagues of England, I think. But Stockport again, yeah, really good. Really enjoy the highlights in the way that they play. Dave Challoner's basically evolved this team, hasn't he, from where they were last year. They're a completely different outfit now, playing different style of football, but it's equally as controlling and restrictive to teams like Wycombe, who, again, I thought were pretty lackluster. They started well.
I thought direct, like Toby just mentioned. You look at I only watched the highlights, but they missed a penalty kick. They've had chances. They've had 6 shots on target. They've had 14 chances, and Dodds will get criticism critiques for his results.
They will also get criticism.
I don't know the actual statistics. I should have looked into it. I didn't. I'm trying to come away from everything being a stat this year, just trying to give my actual thoughts. But I reckon Dodds has probably got a better PPG in his. I think he's had 14 games than Bloomfield had in his 14 first games. So I think that you need to have patience, because it took Ainsworth a bit of time to get going at that football club. It took Bloomfield. Dodds has taken over 2 managers that Bloomfield was a legend at that football club anyway. Ainsworth made himself so he's taken over 2 massive legends that the football isn't great. Bloomfield's football, I remember 2 years ago we came on here. The first 3 or 4 games of the season, Leyton Orient, they didn't get anything, and they beat Leyton Orient on that Tuesday night. I think, was it Lowe got a brace and they beat Leyton Orient 3-2 on that Tuesday night at Adams Park. I think 5th game of the season. Toby can maybe correct me on that, and that was kind of the kick-start for them. And then back end of that season, they performed. I think this season could be a bit of a transition season for Wycombe, where they're maybe not at the best, but we start to see something new from them.
Yeah, I agree. And to be fair, like some people are saying that Dodds just completely they fell off a cliff, but I don't think they particularly.
There we are. Get in. I got it right.
Well done, Mappers. You've done something well. But like Toby says, I think they've just got to trust the process. I mean, their recruitment this summer has been amongst some of the best in the certainly in League One. I mean, Abbott was a fantastic signing, and you speak about Blackpool and how many new signings they had the team. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 players that started the game yesterday were new signings for Wycombe and hadn't played for them previously before this season. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Obviously, they've sort of changed from having this fluid front three with Kone to maybe having a little bit somewhere else with Katerna and Onyedinma and Odo, with Abbott apparently seemingly playing just in behind. So yeah, like we say, there's positives to take for Wycombe. I think if they take the chances, they maybe get something out of the game. But it's only August, Ben. If it's.
You want to mention that any more times?
Yes, I do. Yeah, well, it's
by
true.
the way, I reckon you said that 11. Oh, it's not one. Can I just say, if Lincoln had won back-to-back game,
we haven't. We haven't.
To a great start in August. Don't underestimate the August start. Don't underestimate.
No, I'm not Matt Farley. I'm not Matt Farley. I am not Matt Farley.
If they win any more games of football,
I'm not having it. I'm predicting them to lose next week, even though they've got a winnable game. I don't care. Just to see.
I'm just sick of hearing what a team we've got. The Bulls.
Yeah. Look. Point is, Wycombe are going to get better, as are Stockport, and that's a very scary prospect for the rest of the league. I won't say any more. Carry on.
89 of you in. If you could all go and do me a favour, go down there, drop a like. It's so easy to do. Just press a thumbs up, yeah, and subscribe. We're so close now to 17,000 subscribers, and I need your help. This is my favourite show to do because I get to work with my best mate, and honestly,
AJW.
Well, shut up.
AJ.
No, I get to work with my mate. He's a great lad.
Oh, I've been downgraded. Fantastic.
No. What do you mean?
I've gone from best mate to mate.
Oh, right. Sorry. Colleague. Sorry, my colleague.
Acquaintance.
Some lad I met off street. I'll play five-a-side with him.
What will you do? Work in the corner?
To be fair, if Ben Gill's in, there's no Ben Gill tonight. So I wonder why.
No, Ben did say he was going to watch it back, so be nice.
Oh, so no. It's about
nice. Be nice. What have I said?
No, I'm not saying it was about you.
Be nice, Ben. I'm telling you.
It was about you.
Be nice. Nasty man. Carry on.
Shut up, it was about you, right? Because he's coming to see you next week, and he was talking about you playing football. Stop doing that. It's not funny anymore. It really, honestly, mate, you need to, mate, I'm going to text him and tell him, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Ben.
So I was talking about what a good player you are, five-a-side. I was you ask him. And then you started coming at me with small club mentality. So I thought I'm going to reel him in going, Bristol Rovers, big club, you know. Ooh. And then Ben's a top fella. Go and subscribe down below. 17,000 subscribers is well on. Now, Mansfield 1, Doncaster Rovers 2. This is a big result for Doncaster in a first league meeting in League One since the 1987-1988 league campaign, where the Stags actually completed the league double that year as well. Doncaster have now won 6 on the spin, going back to last season, winning mentality. They actually won 10 on the spin back in March and April 24 before drawing to Gillingham, then beating Crewe in the playoffs, losing in the second leg. You were there at that game. On the pitch with your mate, and then we obviously went to the playoff final and watched Crewe lose, because a bit of a background story. Me and Jake have been to Wembley 7 times together. I think we've conceded 15 goals, scored none, not won a game of football.
Yeah. So if your team get in the playoffs this year, I'm accepting bribes to not go in your end at the playoff final.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll leave my bank details in the description of this episode.
And that goes across League 1 and League 2. Doncaster, I'm going to give them full credit. You've come from a goal down to win 2-1, late goals, big result for them. They scored 2 late goals, 3 late goals, if you like, in the last few weeks to get them the 6 points on the board. Doncaster, I think 14th in my table. Owen Bailey, I hear about him all the time. I'm not from a Doncaster fan. Jack Kershaw raves about him. And you hear how good he is, and genuinely I can fully get behind it. He's an excellent young footballer. It's a great performance. However, sorry, let me rephrase that. However, David's going to be loving that. I think there'll be a false sense of security there with Doncaster, with a few Doncaster fans. It reminds me a bit like when Mansfield went on that. Do you remember when they went on that really good run about 6 or 7 games into the season, and they'd beaten Exeter and they'd beaten Mansfield? Don't get me wrong. Don't underestimate how good of victories they are. Because for Doncaster to stay in the division, they're going to have to beat sides, and I hate using the term, like Mansfield, like Exeter. But they've done it. Fair play to them. They are the two. You look at Doncaster, who they can finish above. There's probably 8 or 9 clubs that you would mention. Mansfield and Exeter are those clubs. So they've done what they've been put in front of them. That's all you can do. But I'm not sold that this Doncaster group is going to go wow for the players after 2 victories. It's 2 victories against sides. In my opinion, that Doncaster will be at the start of the year thinking, how are we going to get to 50 points? You think, there, pick one up here. It's a great victory for them to show mentality of coming back. On Doncaster, great victory. For Mansfield, however, I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, I've just had a purple snap from David, and I am worried. That could quite literally be anything. Yeah, a fantastic win for Doncaster. I mean, it was some strike, wasn't it, from McLaughlin, Ben? You must have seen it. It's an absolute...
Into the near corner, top corner.
Yeah, it's a thunder
They've got
strike.
a new stand, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a bit tin pot, isn't it? It looks a bit tin pot.
I mean, this is the type that has a little thing on the side at your club. But
that's poacher's corner. That's poacher's corner, mate. Don't take the mick. All right. That's where I had my first game. So I have a bit of respect.
Oh, you're going to say something else then?
Yeah. Bishop Road. Yeah, the Bishop Road end. Yeah, it's a little bit simple. But you know what? At least Mansfield can now sing they've got 4 stands. Yeah, good win for Doncaster coming from behind. Owen Bailey, I've heard a lot from a Donny fan called Ben Smith. You might have seen him on Twitter. He speaks quite highly about him. Luke Molyneux with another assist to add to his goal from last season, from last week. Yeah, really good. Mansfield are a team Doncaster are trying to emulate in terms of what they're trying to do to stay up.
I need to visit. I need to get to Huddersfield game this year.
What, from Arson's Chicken?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you really do. I'm having to go against my own will, but I will still be there. I think James.
When do you play him?
It's a Tuesday night. After Christmas, I think. Yeah. I think James is going to take me, actually, which is really kind of him, since he lives in Peterborough. But yes, a good win nonetheless for Doncaster. Thought they were excellent to come back. Owen Bailey's a very talented footballer.
You play him, you're at home against them on New Year's.
Home New Year's Day, and then we're away. I think it's a Tuesday night, maybe in March, I would guess.
Yeah, 17th of March.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But to be honest, Ben, I don't know about you, but I'd never really expected this Grant McCann team to come in and just make the numbers up in League One, knowing how ambitious he is as a head coach and the way that he plays football is probably more aligned with League One in terms of it's all more on the they're a northern team, Doncaster, but they don't play northern football like we've mentioned. I just had a thing about using hand gestures. That's quite weird. My MacBook knew that I was doing that. But yeah, no, a fantastic.
Yeah, I normally am doing that around the camera at you.
What hand gestures?
What?
You're so weird. You're so weird sometimes, Ben. New member, congrats. But yeah,
can we say thank you to Parmex as well? Who became a member before. I was waiting for the.
Do you want me to say thank you to him?
Yeah, you can.
Or do you want to say?
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what. I'll say thank you to Parmex, and you can try and pronounce that. How about that? Don't say it letter for letter because that's boring.
Flusk.
No. Jaflusk.
Jaflusk.
Yeah. Thanks, chaps. Yeah, Grant McCann, great manager, great style of football. And he's come in and really made an impact at League One level, and I'm not surprised whatsoever. They look good, Doncaster. Not just Bailey, Molyneux as well. They've got Charlie Cruz come back on loan. That continuity is massive. Middleton on the left looks like a decent pickup. George Broadbent, I think, goes under the radar massively. It's Josh Flack. Yeah, he's just messaged me and said it's him.
Hello, Josh.
He put, it's me, I spelt it wrong. Oh, that's cute of him, isn't it?
Who's Josh?
Josh is little ginger Josh.
Is he a Lincoln fan?
Of course he's a Lincoln fan. We're all Lincoln.
Right. Lincoln fans are class. Flowers, class. Sue, best bake. Connie, unreal. You've got Commons. I was having a chat about Commons. Say again. Shane, yeah, great. Links, best barber.
Yeah, Rich Godson, he's a Lincoln fan. I know he's not here.
And then I just wonder what happened with you.
Thanks, mate.
Why? All these lovely Lincoln fans, I have to get stuck with you.
I'm the best one.
Well, if you think so.
Actually, I was saying this loudly and proudly to my cousin who was in the away end yesterday. I am the host of the second most popular Lincoln City podcast out of 2. So I'm actually still on the podium. So silver medal, put it on.
I don't want to make any comment, but you are the co-host of a popular League One live show.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at the competitors we've got, Ben.
This is bang on, by the way, what Charlie has said. That for me, Northampton did it 2 seasons ago, where I think that against the likes of Aki, Fleetwood, Cheltenham, Cambridge, the bottom 8. If Doncaster say finished 16th, but then said 17, 18, 19, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, I can count, I've got 8 fingers, 3 less than what Jake's got. So if they can beat all 8 of those once and then maybe draw 4, that's 28 points already from 16 of your games. Then all you're asking probably to get is another 22 from your other 30. And you can do that with you'll get an odd result. So yeah, I bang on agree with that. We will move on. We'll go to Peterborough Luton because Peterborough haven't actually won a game of football since Wembley, and where they beat Birmingham in the Virtue Cup, and they've actually failed to win any of their last 9 league games, which is now a bit of a concern. They've lost 6 of whom, And even before, they had a bit of a mini run before Wembley, where they were on a decent run, especially away from home. They were poor before that, especially away. And Luton, again, now have won 4 matches in their last 6 away from home. Drawn 1, lost 1. That's as many as their previous 43 league games, going back to the Championship, Premier League, and Championship the year before, where they'd won 4, drawn 10, lost 30. Sorry, it was 44 games. Sorry, my maths isn't quite mathing there, is it? I worked that out as soon as I was saying that. Luton, the first goal, bit of quality. Second goal, absolutely God's gift. Peterborough. Could we be seeing a new Bristol Rovers replacement this season in Peterborough?
They haven't got this funny accent to do, so I'm going to struggle.
Every time yesterday I went to Charlie, he rang me about 3 times, I kept going, "Are me lover?"
Yeah. Maybe leave the accents to me, Ben. But
Go on, do it.
No, because Bristol Rovers are not in our league, so there's no point giving them any airtime, is there?
I just want to get promoted just for that.
Yeah, this game. I mean, Billy Capich was great when he was Luton's best player for the goal. Outstanding assist, really, if you think about it. What was it? Yeah, Clark's goal at the end. But yeah, I didn't get to watch this because I was on the train, so I didn't get a signal. I wanted to save battery. I didn't catch this one.
You were on the train?
Yeah, I was on the train. Yeah.
Yesterday, you were on the train.
Yeah, I was on the train in Peterborough actually.
Oh, did you drive to Peterborough and drive train in?
Yeah, that's
like this to Wembley.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, a couple of years ago. But yeah, no, I think you're right. I'm quite concerned about this. We'll touch on Peterborough first, like you say. Quite concerned about this Peterborough United team. Alex Bass has got injured, and that's a big problem because they've spent money on him They spent money on a goalkeeper for the first time in a very long time. I thought Reyes was going to come in, but he obviously still staying on the bench. Some of these players have not proved themselves, certainly over pre-season. Oscar Vale, I think his Peterborough United career hasn't really got off started. He's been there a year now. Carl Johnston, whilst he's steady, is he sexy? No, he's not. And he's been solid for Peterborough, but he's not been outstanding for Peterborough where you maybe expect him to be. Kean Hayes, he's made a good impact. Collins, who obviously is set to leave by all accounts. O'Brien Brady, they've been trying for a couple of years to pinhole him into somewhere within the team. Abraham Ado didn't work last year. They're still persisting with him. And Brady Ovian, who, fair play to him, he's got over his attitude issues of last season and has been a real asset, but still desirable at this level. Lindgren, again, I think is a decent player, but I just don't think the Peterborough United players that are playing around him are good enough to spot his movement. I think there's a real player in there. Nevitt, again, Lisby come out of non-league. Those two both coming out of non-league. So, yeah, it's where it is. It looks messy at Peterborough, doesn't it? It doesn't look like they're going to have a good season. And the 2 performances certainly indicate that. When you look at Luton, they weren't great against Wimbledon. We said that last week. I think this was better, but I don't think this Luton team got into full throttle as of yet. It's going to take a little bit of time, isn't it, for the likes of Jerry Yates, Naki Wells and Jordan Clark to settle in with Milner Cali playing as a wing-back. I don't know how I rate Milner Cali playing as a wing-back because I always seem to remember his good games for Exeter as a winger, not having any defensive responsibility. But maybe he's got Cal Naismith in behind him who's going to do well enough. But, yeah, look, decent win for Luton despite being helped by Billy Capich is poorness. But, yeah, Luton will be pleased that they've gone 2-4-2.
I agree. I don't look at Peterborough's side anymore and think, great. They do often bring a body in Peterborough, but they're often it's very much like they get cherry picked and they keep relying on hopefully it'll work. Eventually, it won't, in my eyes, and they've got to look at this and think, no, just bring a few experienced bodies in. I know that's not what they do. But sometimes you need experienced bodies around the young players. I think last week I had combined age between Cardiff and Peterborough, 443, which felt like Mansfield's starting 11 last year. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I think Mansfield's average starting 11 at one point was just over 300, which 443 for 22 players for both football clubs. I'm not a dinosaur. I am aware that you need young players coming through at clubs like Peterborough to be sustainable, but you can't keep getting cherry picked and hoping to get away with it. Bolton 2, Plymouth 0. A great victory for Bolton Wanderers after suffering a 2-0 defeat in the opening match of the season. There was positives there for Bolton. They felt that they probably could have had more in the game. They had 15 shots last week, which was the most in any of the teams in match day one without finding the back of the net. It was in my eyes, they weren't great last week. They just came up against a good side away from home. They're going to get it. And I thought that they lacked a bit of physicalness in the game. Physicality, shut up.
Physicalness.
So bad. I've not changed. Bolton yesterday showed a bit more of their style in terms of attacking output. They didn't have a large percent of the ball. They had 40% of the ball, actually. They had 2 shots on target, scored with 2 shots on target. What they did do was limit Plymouth to having lots of the ball, having 150 odd more passes than them, having 3 shots, having none on target. Plymouth were absolutely woeful, but Bolton Wanderers I thought were excellent. And what I like about this Bolton Wanderers team now, Jake, there's a freshness there. Causa Dewberry coming in. You look at Gale coming in, Burstow, Simmons, obviously Oscar Tutu coming into his second year. Conway looks an excellent signing as well. Sharman Lowe, adding into Toll, Johnston, Sheehan, Randall, hopefully a little bit better now in his first full season at the football club. What they've done is, there was a lot of good players for Bolton Wanderers over the last few years. Gethin Jones, Dion Charles, Santos, Baxter, for example. But now, Thomason obviously left the football club. They've got rid of players that were good for them, that took them so far, but there was an element of a losing mentality of that culture of they lost in a playoff final. They had an awful season last year. I think they lost 17 games of football. Yes, they were 9th, but they lost 17. I think lost 17 or 18 games of football last year. It's not sustainable. That they lost in the playoff semi-final. They were under Everett's group. It feels now that Everett's tenure was still there at the end of the year last year. You've got rid of that bit of hangover. There feels a freshness there, and you're not adding on to the bench where yesterday on the bench they've got the likes of McAtee, Morley, Farino, Darcy's Cogley.
Not going to hear it.
Aran.
You said it.
But they had great players on the bench of quality. They are still 1 or 2 away, but I genuinely believe there's a freshness there. I feel they need a bit more. They need someone that can stick an elbow in there, pin defenders, bit of physicality to get out. Top of the. They need a John Daddy Budvalson. That's what I think they lack a little bit. But I'm liking Burst. So I'm liking the freshness of it. There's Bolton Wanderers for me will go under the radar, I think, this year, which is stupid because Bolton Wanderers are an absolutely enormous football club.
I think Mason Burstow is the man that you're describing. Physicality, big frame. I remember when he came through at Charlton, massive, bit like Miles Leeburn. I was wondering where these Charlton chaps were getting the physical specimens coming through their academy. But yeah, I think he can be that. And I think Saturday really showcased that. He was outstanding. His movement, his physicalness, as Ben puts it, was pretty good. Yeah,
tell you what, my back's hurting from carrying you. Jesus.
Is it that right? Is it interesting? Yeah, like Sam Dolby, like Sheila Arch says down there, can certainly do that. And we're yet to see Sam Dolby in a Bolton Wanderers shirt. So
yeah, you forget about him, to be fair.
Yeah, I think I do think that they've got a good side and they've got depth this year. They have good depth. I mean, you've mentioned that bench already. It's ridiculously how talented they are. And the lads that perhaps they thought were going to come in and not make an impact, like your Cozier Dewberry's, like your Thierry Gales. Yeah, they spent money on them, but maybe you thought it would take a little bit of time for them to get acclimatised to first in football in the EFL. Have really stood out. And yesterday, I thought they were particularly good. They were, they were outstanding. Owen Toll, I think he's just been named club captain, hasn't he? So that's a fantastic achievement for him. He was someone that I know they were worried about losing over the course of the summer. But good for Burstow to get his first goal as well. For Plymouth, Ben, and as good as a win as it was for Bolton, I feel for Tom Cleverley massively, because that team yesterday, an Argyle team, they're expected to be at the top end of this league after the standards that they had set previously in this league. We talk about how good Ipswich were that year, but this Plymouth team were better. They call them the 101 squad, the 101 squad, the 101 boys. And I look at this team, what they've got, what they've been left with. Yes, some are new players, the likes of Watts, Ibrahim, etc., Pebble. They need a number 9. This Plymouth team are desperate.
I think they're more than number 9 away.
Yes, but I think at the minute their biggest concern are where the goals are coming from.
Jovan McCarmer on loan.
Jovan McCarmer on loan. Behave yourself, mate. He's not centre forward anyway. He's a right winger. We both know that. Pebble he's stepping up, really, isn't he? Despite not, I think he had a good spot at Southend and then Chesterfield. But whether he's got the minerals to be a League One striker, I don't think he has. I think Tom Cleverley came out and said it perfectly in his post-match press conference that they need help. He basically, like he did in the first game, he played that team to show the board, to show Simon Hallett, who I think a lot of Plymouth fans are still behind, but maybe want to see a little bit of money spent now on a number 9 who's going to be good enough. Because you think about when Plymouth last got out of the league, and they had Ryan Hardy who was putting the ball away on a consistent basis. Teams that want to be up there need a player that's going to put the ball in the net on a consistent basis. I look at that team that started, the front 4, Ben, that started yesterday. Pebble, Mumba, Watts and Amaechi. Would you back any 4 of those to score over 15 goals? I don't think I would. I don't think I would back any of their attacking players to drag them to a promotion spot in the league, whether that be automatic or through the playoffs. So a lot of work to do. I feel for Tom Cleverley because he's gone in there. It looked like a real coup for Plymouth. They're backed him to an extent, but he really needs a number 9, and they really need to sort out a couple more bits in the window. Like you say, I still think a goalkeeper should be on the cards because Ashby Hammond, I don't think he's up to it. I think a lot of Plymouth fans have noticed that as well. Galloway, whether he's a decent left back, they've got good players, Ben. They're a good side, but they just need a little bit of help, and I do worry for Tom Cleverley that he's not getting that at the moment.
Do you worry about Reading? 2 defeats in 2 games.
No, I don't.
However, they played Lincoln and Huddersfield. That you go away.
Basically, they play the teams that are going to get automatically promoted at the end of the season. So hard work for a minute.
To be fair, though, Huddersfield, 2 late goals. And I know they started well last year. They won the first 3 games under Michael Duff, and it went a little bit poopy after that, didn't it? But you look at Huddersfield's team again. Goodman in goal. Sorensen again, starting a game of football. So good. I think, genuinely, if those fullbacks play each other a lot of time this year, I could see them getting between 15 and 20 assists if they play a lot of minutes this year between Lass and Miller. Watmore and Lowe, 2 top centre-backs. Leyton and Kane in midfield. And then you've got Taylor, May, Wiles, Ruskin. It's not bad. The bench yesterday, Rowan, Kasumu, Gooch, Feeney, Charles. There'll be often where there'll be players left out of squads here. That's how ridiculous it is. But onto the game, it was a good performance for Huddersfield Town, actually, away from home. 6 shots on target. Jack Watmore did actually put the visitors ahead just before, kind of 15 minutes before time as well. A nice kind of finish. Again, you want your centre-backs being involved in both boxes. And they'll be thinking, Jack Watmore will be thinking, what more can I do to continue to add to this team?
We've never gone away, had we? We've never gone away. The thing is, these people have had a break from you all summer. I have not, and I've heard that, and I should know that was. I should have known that was coming, but I didn't. Maybe they've had my lack of prep.
Again, a great victory, and Feeney making his debut as well. Buzzing for him. That I remember when he first joined the football club. Look, I thought, is he going to get minutes? I think he will get minutes in that team eventually at some point this year. But it's not going to be number 1, number 2 choice because the options in there are ridiculous. Realistically, it was a big decision for Grant, who actually left Ipswich in the summer, to go into his first role, and 2 games, 2 wins, I think 6 goals scored. It's not a bad start. To go away from home, away at Reading, it's a good performance. And Huddersfield, they've got Blackpool coming up, they've got Stevenage coming up. I'm liking this Huddersfield team. I know the supporters are right on the bandwagon. I think there was a feel-good factor last year because he went away at Peterborough and won. They won the first. I think they beat Stevenage 1-0 at home. They were getting over 5 margin football. This year it feels slightly differently. It feels like the performances are better early in the season, more convincing. There's more options off the bench, and there's a lot of quality in there. And look, the top of the league. Could we see a team here? I know it's going to be ridiculous. Stay top of the league for 46 games for the first time ever. Who knows?
I'm going to be predictable and say it's only. I'm joking. Interesting comment from Deck there about Lars Sorensen, and I think why you're saying that is because he's playing as a right back in a back four. You say this about players. Lars Sorensen is not a right back in a back four. Lars Sorensen is a right wing back in a back 5 or a central midfielder. Either or. You can't shift him around and move him around. You boys bought him off the back of a really good season playing right wing back and expect him to play right back and be the same player. And the expectation at Huddersfield is different. I know you get on his back. It's a move that hasn't worked out for Lass, and I think he'll be regretting leaving Lincoln for Huddersfield. Whoever gets promoted, I think he'll be regretting that. But still, a fantastic performance. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
You're calling me house proud, aren't you?
No, I'm not even laughing at you. Just laughing at me next game. Shut up. Move
on.
on.
I know what game's next. I'm guessing.
No, it's not. No, shut up.
Move on. Point is, great win for Huddersfield, like you say. Great options, great depth. That front four is ridiculous. Ben Wiles had a great year last year. Alfie May, we know. Joe Taylor, we know what he can do at this level. Ruskin, he's probably the least proven, but he's a very exciting left-sided player. Ledson and Kane in midfield. I think maybe that midfield slot is maybe where they can do better rather than Herbie Kane. Herbie Kane's a good player, but whether they can get someone of a little bit better quality in there, I don't know. Kev Nagel's probably talking to one as we speak. But yeah, incredible depth, incredible options. Huddersfield are a special team this year. I wanted to touch on Reading, Ben, because as good as it is to give Huddersfield their flowers, I think Reading, they've had Hey?
Matt.
Yeah, you're Reading their Matt Flowers. Love Matt Flowers.
What a boy.
What a boy. I do think this Reading team are a good team, Ben. I do. I think they've... I came on here last week and said they were very good when we beat them. Whether they were good against Huddersfield, I'm not massively in the know, but I still think they've got the principles of a good side there. You know, Savage and wing in midfield, Finn Burns and Matty Jacob at the back, Joel Pereira, one of the best keepers in this league for sure. I think they need another striker. O'Mahony is carrying that mantle at the minute. I think he's going to struggle to do it on his own. They need a different option. Kelvin Abachaman wasn't massively prolific last year. I think the signing of Kamari Doyle will massively help Reading. He's a fantastic young player. I just think they'll hunt needs a little bit more. When they get Paul O'Connor back in the team, then we might start seeing Reading picking up some points. But I do think this Reading team can be good. I really do think, that they are going to have a good season. They've just come across two decent sides in the first 2 games. So, yeah, a good win for Huddersfield. Reading, I wouldn't be worried about because, like we say, 44 games to go. They have plenty of time to show their quality.
Leyton Orient showed their quality yet again yesterday at home with a 2-0 victory over Wigan Athletic. Brilliant victory, and I actually read a bit of what Charlie Keegan put on Twitter before he put an excellent thread on the game. If you haven't gone and watched it, Charlie Keegan on Twitter, just mentioned about the back line of Leyton Orient, how strong they were last year, which is, if you've got a strong back line that you can rely on every week, that you start your starting 11 and you go goalkeeper, your back 5 or back 4 if you like, and it rolls off the tongue instead of, is he playing? Realistically, you can change your centre forward a little. You want you can change maybe one in your midfield, maybe two. You want to change every week at best, but you want to realistically say the same back, be the same centre backs, same goalkeeper, 2 out of the 3 midfield, and your striker realistically. And I feel with Leyton Orient, you get that. And it was a great victory for them. And Richie Wellens, look, they started slow last year. They don't want to do that again. Poor last weekend out, but at home against a Wigan side that will want to push on. And buzzing for Chroma, getting up and running. It's a nice finish. He hammers it home. It was kind of the Steven Sessegnon show because he got an own goal, a red card, and he's the first player in League One history from 2004 and 5 to do it, to score an own goal and get sent off. So thank you to EFL Stat Pack for that.
He's the first player to do it in a league game in England's top 4 leagues overall since Jan Bednarak for
Southampton and Manchester United in the Premier League.
Yeah, I believe that game ended 9-0. So
well done, Wigan.
Well done, Wigan, for not losing 9-0. Congrats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd say I'd love it if Lincoln lost 9-0 and imagine.
If we had to lose 9-0 to one of a League One team, what team would you pick? Oh no, I know.
Not Lincoln.
No. Yeah.
If you had to lose and beat and do it to another, I think I just want to do it to you.
The one team I wouldn't want to get beat 9-0 by no, Stevenage.
I wouldn't want to get beat 1-0. To be fair, if you played Stevenage, at least you'd see a goal this time. 0-0.
They were beaten 1-0 last year.
No, I mean at home.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. He's making it all about little Burton. Look, some teams have lost 9-0, but it's not a bit to be proud of, David.
Yeah. To be fair,
it was 9-0.
Yeah. Leyton Orient with a great victory yesterday. Wigan didn't have a shot on target. Leyton Orient, in my eyes, deserved victory from what I saw. Again, adding Chroma, Ollie O'Neill, they've got a lot of strengths in there as well.
Chroma.
Sam Tickle made a couple of good saves. I feel there's probably relentlessness. Maybe add 1 or 2 more goals to that team yesterday. Good performance for them. Good victory. Leyton Orient 2, Wigan 0 as Leyton Orient put on the show. Go on the O's. That'll do. That'll do. Go on the O's.
Famously, Josh Chroma, who plays up front with Ollie Hunstanton, that joke will be lost on you because you don't know the Norfolk coastline. No, decent performance from Leyton. Like you say, I've got Charlie's thread up as we speak, and he's so analytical. I can't basically repeat it word for word. So if you do want to check it out, go and follow Charlie Keegan on Twitter. A decent performance from Leyton. Like you say, Ben, Richie Wellens has been playing good football in this 4-3-3 shape. Lots of debuts. All new players into the group. I think they can be a real handful for teams this year, certainly at Brisbane Road, and they were for Wigan yesterday. Great movement, great move in general to force Steven Sessegnon to chest into his own net. The second goal is great. Jaisimi has had a big impact since coming back. Like Parmex says there, it basically feels like a new signing. Wigan, wasn't massively impressed. I think that the only highlight from a Wigan point of view came in the stands, didn't it? I don't know if you've seen the clip, Ben.
I don't get that. Apparently, I've done some digging, and apparently this lady is something to do with the supporters' trust.
People don't like it, do they? By all accounts.
To be fair, look, I know you can maybe understand that point of being that fan that, there we go again. What's he saying now? About not being liked and stuff at your games. I'm joking. I'm only joking, Petal. Don't worry. I think basically she has a go at you if you have an opinion that's bad about the club or that you're not a real fan. That's what I get.
Yeah, I feel like she's not well liked for some reason. I've just been texted the name Sam Sheringham. I don't know what that means. That might be the person that's in the crowd. I don't know, but yeah.
Sam Sheringham is a footballer.
Oh no! Josh is getting involved with the Norfolk coastline thing. Ignore me.
Sam Sherring's a footballer for Northampton, isn't he?
Eh?
He plays for Northampton, Sam Sherring, doesn't he?
No, he plays for MK Dons, Sam Sherring.
Oh, well, he was at Northampton, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I said Sheringham. Sheringham is another place on the Norfolk coastline, like Cromer, like you said.
Is it? Mate, I dropped geography.
I can tell.
Yeah, I was a bit like Spurs, right? I sacrificed everything in year 11 for just my maths and English. And I got every other grade was awful, but I passed my maths and English. I was like Spurs, Europa League, and then I went into my other lessons just revising for maths and English. So
you're good, lad. Right, should we move on?
Yeah, absolutely. So Jake was a little bit down over this, so we're not going to take the mickey. Jake, I think that we're not going to talk football on this. I like me other sports. Darts, me and you often talk about, don't we? Snooker, I quite like. I'm going to talk to you about tennis. You went to Wimbledon in the summer, and you saw 20 love, 2-0.
20 loves not scoring tennis.
Shut up, I made it a score. 2-0 to Wimbledon. Lincoln City are now winless in the last their 4 league away trips in London, drawing 2, losing 2, lasting during a run in the EFL between September 2007 and September 2008, longer. So 4 of that are winning London. Adam Jackson sent off, Matty Stevens penalty. You lose 2-0 to Wimbledon. However, you got a pretty good record watching Wimbledon. 1-0 against Notts County, 1-0 against Walsall, 2-0 against the mighty Imps. Imps away, I like it. And that's what I was thinking yesterday when I saw Wimbledon win. Limps losing again. I like it. Come on, the bus. Open top bus parade has been cancelled.
Oh, we're finished.
What's good? You can't banter me because we're not in this league.
We're finished.
On the Wombles.
Right. Where do I start? Well, I think I have to start in one place, which is the red card for Adam Jackson, right?
Not a red card.
It's not. It's not a red card. Adam Jackson plays the ball. Matty Stevens runs into him when his foot's in the air. It looks 10 times worse than what it is. But if you watch it, if you watch the clip, he clears the ball. What was he meant to do? Charlie, his name was Matthew Russell. He was rubbish. He's about 24 years old. He's a little child. And he couldn't wait to send Adam Jackson. He walked over and he sent that red card straight. And it's not a red card. It's absolutely not a red card. An experienced referee gives it as a yellow. And from that moment, and the competitiveness of the game is completely evaporated because, at 11 versus 11, I'm not saying we were the better team. We had created nothing. But also we didn't look like we were going to concede a goal either. So I think the ref just decided he wanted to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. And that's exactly what he did by sending Jacko off. I thought it was harsh. The penalty, I have no complaints with. For me, definite penalty. Sonny Bradley's got his hands up. Whether that's because he's sliding, I don't know. Whether they're in a natural position for when he's sliding, I don't know. But it does strike his arm, and therefore it's a penalty. And at 1-0, I always thought, well, I don't think we're going to get back into the game. Second half, we had one sort of moment where Tendai should have seen Jack Moylan a bit sooner. He didn't do it quick enough, and Joe Lewis got back and defended really well. I was fairly impressed with Wimbledon. The Simway I thought was really good. He scored the second goal. I think it's deflected and gone past George. Yeah, it was at Walsall last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And at 2-0, the mountain gets even bigger. I think what that shows to Michael, to Jez, to Liam, to Clive, the Americans, whoever, it shows that team now needs investment because you rip the 4 best players of. We said it with Peterborough, Ben. You rip the 4 best players out of the team. You need to
Rowan, McCarmer,
and Ethan. You need to go and replace them.
And as well, think about it. It's back to front as well. You think that Rowan, Pawdy, Ethan, McCarmer. You know what I mean? Like, you're losing a 5-a-side team. If Lincoln made a 5-a-side team, they're probably the players that you're picking, aren't they?
With the goalkeeper, yeah, it's
with GG. Yeah. George Wickens.
Yes, for George Wickens.
I can't help but say GG now. Thanks to
But yeah, I'm disappointed because for me the referees ruined the game. People will have their opinions on it. I still don't think it's a red card. I think it's really poor. I think if we have an experienced ref, I don't think he gives the red card. And at that point, when you go 10 down to 10 men after being 20 minutes into a game, the lads worked really hard out of possession to try and keep up with them. But Wimbledon, they had the extra man. I tell you what, I don't know if you've been to, well, you will have been to Wimbledon last year, Ben. The stewards are outstanding. They were absolutely class. The away end was really good. Fans were outstanding. 800 of us made a load of noise. I saw the refuge geezer. That was good fun. It was a good day out, spoilt by a rubbish referee. But you know what? Sometimes you get them in football, and you have those days. Fair play to Wimbledon. They took advantage of the situation, like any team should do it in their position. So I think Wimbledon will be all right at Plough Lane this year. I think they're going to beat a lot of teams. Genuinely, they are better than people are making out. But
they're hard to beat. They'll have a Wimbledon DNA.
Yeah, and I think they'll make games tight, and I think they'll pick up points at home, whether they draw, whether they win. I'm disappointed because my weekend's been dictated by an idiot who wore yellow. But I'm going to say it again: nothing is won and lost.
It's quite funny that the yellow is a ticker, and I didn't even know that. He was going to say that. 3 games left, but only 1 goal to discuss. Stevenage 1, Rotherham 0. BGR is back with big goal reading with his 3rd goal of the season. Back and firing. He didn't get a pre-season last term. He got one this year, and he's feeling mentally stronger in himself, he did say. Alex Vale mentioned it was the best first-half performance he's had since being Stevenage, his manager. In his 2nd year now, more experience they've added to their squad, and they feel the top half finish is more than capable to beat a Rotherham United side that failed to have a shot on target. A lot of these teams this season were already, especially this weekend, not having shots on target away from home. I do struggle to see where the quality is coming from this Rotherham United group. I feel it's bang in trouble if it's got a couple of injuries. I feel it's a bang lower half League One squad under Matt Hamshaw. For Stevenage, I think they're on an uphill trend. I like this from Horton and White for Roberts, for Kemp, for Campbell behind Reed. The back line is decent as well. Pidge, Good, Butler. I hate you, Butler. Widlin, Moscow. It's a good team. That 11 for Stevenage is very, very underrated, I think. I think people will underestimate Stevenage because of the name Stevenage Borough, because of the fan base, because they're a smaller football club. Stevenage have recruited a very good squad this year. Farley's going to be loving this. Farley's not told me to say this. I genuinely now can see the patterns of playing they're playing. I think this team is better than the team they had under Evans. That season. I think that it's a bit more League One, and I think it's a bit more, I think it's a bit more it's a bit more sexy, if you like. It's a bit more, it's got better football, isn't it? I think they were just good at the dark arts under Evans in the Steve Evans derby, if you like, as well. He left, obviously, to join Rotherham United because he got more sausage rolls and more cans of Iron Brew. And what was the other thing he liked? Club bars. He got a pack of 12 there. Only got a 6 at Stevenage. But then thanks, Lee. A great performance for Stevenage. 1-0, clean sheet. Go on the boys. Big goal reading. Go on.
I can't bring myself to compliment because I'm very worried that they'll clip it up and they'll put me on the Stevenage Football Club podcast.
Pick it up. Come on. I love you.
God. Yeah, I don't know. A good win for Stevenage. At home, they're very strong at the Lamex, aren't they? I'll give them credit. They're playing against a Rotherham team who are very poor. The signings that they've made are not massively experienced in the EFL. The manager's not massively experienced in the EFL. Ravel, as Farley says, they're only going to get better, and they've set a decent precedent. Jamie Reid being back in and amongst the goals, that answers the problem of last year. Yeah, they were fine last year where they were in the table and didn't score goals. If they can stay as defensively resolute as they were last year and have Jamie Reid's goals back in the team, this Stevenage team could well be a particularly dangerous prospect at this level. So, yeah, a fantastic win for them. Harvey White's had a good season so far. He's been very impressive at the base of midfield. Dan Phillips back in there, causing issues and general in that midfield. He's a real presence in there. And you've got Pierre Gianni at the back, whose standards don't drop whatsoever. So, yeah, I think it's been a good start to the season for Stevenage. Obviously, Matt and Andy will be buzzing. The back-to-back wins. They're 5th in the league, I think, after 2 games. I don't see a reason not to be positive for Stevenage. I think it's a particularly good start to the season. I think they started the last 2 seasons particularly well. So, concerns for Rotherham, big concerns for Rotherham. I don't see what Matt Hampshire is trying to do. I don't see an identity. I can't see where the besides Sam Nombe, I can't see how they're going to get the ball to him on a regular enough basis, just apart from Joe Powell set pieces to cause issues. And for that, I think people say Rotherham are going to struggle this year. I think Gab was the first one to go in on it, wasn't he? Saying they're going to be bottom 4, and I think I don't think he's a million miles away. Nappers.
You shouldn't have told me that. He's made a few statements like that, anti, where he put Fleetwood bottom at the table, and at the time I did agree with him, if I'm honest with you. On Stevenage, great performance. I agree with what Charlie said. He actually made a statement last season on the show where he went, if Stevenage wouldn't have had the season they did the year before, would they be seeing last season as a bad one? No, they wouldn't. When we watched them at Notts County, they were defensively strong. That's on Wimbledon. Nothing wrong with the colour yellow. Like Jake said, and Ben said it, marathon, not a sprint. And obviously, I know all about that because I've run a marathon and I understand how hard it is. And yeah, look, after 2 miles, I wasn't think I was going to complete this. And it was 42 kilometres, it's 46 games, pretty much like for like. And I know all about that because I've run a marathon. That I'm a bit shy in mentioning that. 2 games to go. Northampton Bradford, there was 3 shots on target, a pretty poor attempt. Max Power came closest for Bradford City in a low-key affair. Northampton still await their first goal of the season, while the Bantams go to 4 points and a step closer to where they want to be. For me, this looked like a very low-quality game. Northampton struggled to find the way through. I look at Northampton's squad and struggle to see goals in it. They've just signed Ethan Wheatley, who didn't really impress me at Walsall.
He got a chance, did he really?
Yeah, he did, but when he did, I didn't think he was any good. But realistically, I don't get how all of a sudden he's got a League One move. I think it's because he's United. That's how I think he's got that move, realistically. And anyway, McGeehan will add maybe 7 or 8. Hoskins good for maybe 10. But I'd struggle for this Northampton team. I'm very worried for Northampton. I know you're a big fan of Northampton.
I'm a big fan of Kevin Nolan, whether I'm a big fan of
I love how your opinions changed. In December, you weren't saying that.
He
wasn't the right man. Very worried for Northampton.
Yeah,
so he must have done something where he's averaging just over a point a game.
He shut me up, and now I'm a big fan of him. Is that not?
Do you think he did amazing last year? Because I think he came in and did a job and he did okay, but I don't think he did, oh my God, amazing. I think Brady would have kept that squad up.
I don't know about that.
I don't think they did any better than they would have done under Brady. That's just my opinion.
I think they were better than they were under Brady.
They're averaging a point a game under Brady. They average, I think, 1.1 under Nolan.
It's not all about the stats, though, is it? It's about the eye test sometimes.
Is it? Sometimes? Winning game football,
for me, Ben, you can't. I have this argument with David all the time because he just refers to stats and he lays stats off.
Points per game.
Yes, but the eye test in terms of what Kevin Nolan was getting out of that squad was way more than what John Brady was getting out of that squad last season.
Points-wise, was he getting a lot more out of him?
He was
a lot more.
Performances were better.
Performances equal points.
No, but
they don't.
Not always, but stats.
Bristol Rovers were better than Fleetwood in the second half yesterday. Didn't win.
The eye test.
Harry had 9 touches in Bristol Rovers.
Listen, you're not listening. the eye test is equally as important as stats. And for
Look,
me, the eye
I get
test
you.
shows that
Northampton under Nolan, right?
are
I'm
better.
nothing against him,
They're
but I
better.
think Northampton are bang in trouble this year. Bang! I think Northampton got the weakest squad in the division.
Yeah,
I
but
genuinely think that.
I don't think they've got the worst manager in the league by a long shot.
I'm not. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. But I think their squad. I think. Yeah, I worry for them.
It was a decent point from yesterday against Bradford. Right, come on, can we move on? Because it was a 0-0. We don't cover 0-0s, do we, really? Bradford
What about the old Cardiff 0?
Oh, there's another one. I forgot about this one. This shouldn't have been. This was a good 0-0. I enjoyed this 0-0. Didn't you?
I didn't watch it. I was out.
Port Vale should have won the game. They had a goal ruled out for offside.
Yeah, I saw that.
The lino's pathetic, quite frankly. Shouldn't call him offside. Port Vale were good. Port Vale battered Cardiff. Cardiff were lucky to escape with a point. I had Reuben Colwell in my fantasy team this week. He let me down. But really good performances. Ojo, I thought he was really good. George Byers in midfield, outstanding. Mitch Clark, very good down the right-hand side. Very reliable performer for Port Vale. Tollage was an absolute nuisance at the top end of the pitch, like you'd expect. I was so disappointed with Cardiff. Like, I've watched them twice, so they played well for about 30 minutes over 2 games.
All that.
That's why I
predicted. They lack players. They lack strength and depth.
Yeah, and I thought
Port
Vale should have won this game. We all know that going to a newly promoted team, their first home game of the season, it's a particularly hard place to go. You did it at Port. You went to Port Vale first.
The last 3 years, we've been to Carlisle, Port Vale, Barnet.
Yeah, so hard work. It's hard work being a newly promoted team's first home game, isn't it? It is. I found out yesterday. Do you know what I mean?
It was our first away game last year. At Grimsby, we had our first away game last year. I remember now.
Anyway, it was 0-0 and Port Vale should have won the game 1-0. So, anyway, predictions. Ben, you happy to move on?
Yeah. Port Vale lucky. Need to start winning games of football. Obviously, they've formed towards the end of the League One last time. They've actually only won 2 of the last 25 games in League One. So hopefully get that first win. It'll be a stepping stone. And yeah, keep liking, keep subscribing, guys.
4 points for Benny Boy this weekend. No correct scores for you. However, there was 2 correct scores for me and 9 points. So that means after game week 2, Naffers, you did take a lead. However, it's been cut back and it's now Ben 13, Jake 15. So we're moving on to... Eh?
What?
What do you call me?
The same.
Yeah, good. Got my eye on you.
You're quite used to that, aren't you? That's all I said.
Yeah, I've got my eye on you.
Predictions.
Right, Ben, we're going to start off with you for early kickoff on Saturday. I'm going to love this because I think this is going to be so reactionary from Saturday. Starting off with Exeter City versus Mansfield Town.
Is that Exeter half-12 kickoff?
It's at Exeter half-12 kickoff. I know what I'm going for.
2-1 Exeter.
Exeter City 0, Mansfield Town 0. 0-0 is an half-12 kickoffs. Don't know what it is. It's a nightmare. Burton Albion versus Port Vale. Also a don't. You were going to say something then.
I was just thinking. Right. Okay. I was about to say.
Okay. I'm going to go 2-2 for draws. I'm going to go Burton Albion 1, Port Vale 1.
Is this another half-12?
It's another half-12. That's right.
Stupid. Absolutely. Who wants to watch Burton Port Vale bar their spot? I don't get it. Why is it being moved? What do you go for? 0-0.
1-1. Did you want 1-1, Ben?
No, I didn't. Who do I fancy? 2-1 Burton.
2-1 Burton.
Yeah.
Coming to you for Wigan Athletic versus Peterborough United.
2-1 Wigan.
I'm going to go 1. I'm going to go 3-1 Wigan.
You want 2-1?
No. Stevenage versus Northampton. Oh,
Hmm.
God. Oh, God, I'm going to have to do it, aren't I, to save myself? I'm going to go Stevenage Borough 2, Northampton Town 0.
That's what I wanted. 2-1 Stevenage.
Ben, coming to you first for Reading versus AFC Wimbledon.
2-0 Reading.
I'm going to go 1-0 Reading, first win of the season. Bear in mind, Ben, you said last week that you didn't think Wimbledon were going to lose too many games by a single goal. 2-0. Have some of that. Right.
It's a 12.
Lincoln versus Plymouth at the Bank. Looking forward to seeing.
I know what I'm going for.
I'm looking forward to seeing your mate Brendan. I'm going for Lincoln City 1, Plymouth Argyle 1.
Lincoln 2, Plymouth Argyle 1.
Take it. This means that means we're going to lose. Charlie, look at Charlie being a right prat. I'll have words with you, Mr. Keegan.
What's that? What's it
No. Go down. Yeah. I'll have words with you.
That's what we did. We went down.
Leyton Orient versus Stockport County, a repeat of last year's playoff semi-final at Brisbane Road, Benny boy.
1-0 County. That's our third time there this year, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for another 2-1 away win for Stockport County. Doncaster Rovers against Wycombe Wanderers. I'm gonna have to do it because there are Rovers, aren't I? I have to do the accent because there are Rovers. We're going to have Blackburn Rovers next season. That'd be funny. I'm going to go Doncaster Rovers 2, Wycombe Wanderers 2.
2-1 Rovers. No, is it against Wycombe?
Yeah.
No, 2-0 Wycombe.
Right, okay. On to the next page. Cardiff City against Rotherham United. Ben. I know what I want.
2-1 Cardiff.
Yeah, and you've just said it, you lanky piece of...
I'm not lanky.
I'm going to go Cardiff. I'm going to go Cardiff 1, Rotherham 0.
I've been in the gym, mate.
Yeah, lanky means tall.
Yeah, but there's... I wish.
Anyway, Bradford against Luton. I'm going to go Bradford City 1, Luton Town 2.
2-0 Luton.
Ben, coming to you first for Blackpool versus Huddersfield.
Oh, this is a difficult one.
It is because they're two of your favourite teams.
What do you mean?
We're just big fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you had a season ticket for Huddersfield in your youth, but
didn't you ever see him ticket for Forest?
No. No, mate. No.
But I need to do it, otherwise I'll be in trouble. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Huddersfield. Stay out of trouble.
Blackpool 2, Huddersfield 3. Barnes, Stormer, Joe Taylor 1, Alfie May 2. What's happening? Barnsley versus Bolton. Can't wait for that. Don't start because it's my go first. I'm going to go Barnsley 1, Bolton Wanderers 2.
They love playing each other, don't they?
They do.
I'm going to go for 1-1.
Anyway, Sadie's here. Hi, Sadie.
Oh, hello. Oh,
nice
hello.
to see you.
Thank you very much, Sadie. I appreciate that. Thank you. Very nice.
She's a Brummie, mate, not a Northerner.
Cup of tea.
She's a Brummie. She's a Brummie. She supports the
Birmingham.
No.
Birmingham. Cup of tea. Birmingham at the weekend drew 1-1. Welcome to the championship. I thought they were unfortunate. Who else? Charlton got their first victory in the Championship, 3 points late on, proper Nathan Jones style. Obviously went up through the playoffs. What?
Yeah. And Wrexham?
And Wrexham, obviously, I forgot.
Lol.
I was
Lol.
biting.
Unlucky lads. Have some of that.
They were 1-0 up, and obviously late heartbreak. They just couldn't quite hold on. They were very, very close, but you get nothing for close. And a typical game that Wrexham would have won last year. Welcome to the Championship. So, yeah, a win, a lose, and a draw for those. The other check-ins, I think Derby lost, didn't they? Derby kind of lost with Stoke, did they?
Yeah, 3-1.
Sheffield Wednesday, obviously been in League One recently. I must say, I think their fans today were absolutely exceptional. From minute one, obviously, with the protest, making an entrance, they dealt with it so well. I thought the supporters inside that ground, they were all you could hear. Got behind the lads, what's going on at that football club. Sheffield Wednesday supporters are the best thing about that football club. Unbelievable. Fair play to them. Obviously, I try and look out for clubs that were in League One and support me and Jake. Jake tried to
Tried.
Portsmouth obviously beat Oxford United in the what's their podcast called?
I've been reliably informed it's not their podcast, it's just Warley's podcast.
Oh, Wardy's podcast then. That he has Tom on. So yeah, in the podcast that the Championship podcast, the Championship boys that went in, the Southern lot of T-flop.
What about League Two teams? How did the relegated?
Relegated teams. Some from last year.
Yeah.
Cambridge lost 3-2 away at Swindon. Trying to think who else went down.
Shrewsbury lost away at
Shrewsbury lost 4-0. Yeah. Still yet to concede a goal. Who else is there? I'm trying to think in League Two now.
Who came bottom last season? Shrewsbury. Cambridge went down.
Yeah, we had them.
I'm struggling. Who went down with Cambridge? Oh my god! Who did go down?
There's another one first.
Yeah, there's another one. Who is it? Crawley. Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, sorry. They're just so League Two. I don't look at them in League One.
How did Crawley do?
Creepy Crawley. I think they lost in Lamb. They lost, I think, again. So score 1, conceded 5, as they lost at home to Newport County. So Newport getting a good win. And then Jake, how did the other team do? No.
I'm not going to. Because
look, Bristol Rovers, we beat Bristol Rovers, but it means, for me, I'm delighted we played them now before they get in the groove. Bristol Rovers fans, they were 100, 150 short in that away and were turning up in good numbers, subdued away, and no noise really, because they've had to deal with they've lost 13 out of 16 on road, haven't they? So the numbers were class. Ben's class, Charlie's class, great people at that football club that genuinely I hope it turns around for, because that football club deserve better. Lovely people involved, and genuinely, there's no joke coming. I hope you get back to it, Ben. I mean, now we played, small club mentality. I won't have that, but look, I was winding them up yesterday, but obviously, I'm obviously.
I can't wait to see him and Charlie next week. I can't wait.
Great guy. I had a good chat with Charlie. He was very animated. Half time he was all right, and after he was getting. I was like, Charlie, just be fine. I didn't know if it was like little man syndrome or anything. I was like, Charlie, just calm down, mate. No, Ben, I wish you all the best. All the best, mate. So yeah, that is it. I think, Jake.
Another week done.
Another week, and we'll be here next week for match day 3. Who've you got in the cup this week? You got Arrogance, haven't you?
Yeah.
We go to Yorkshire as well. We play Barnsley. And you know something? I'm going to say this on air. Come on, Barnsley. I hope you beat us 2-3-0. Get us out of the cup. It doesn't matter. I'm not really bothered.
Nah, I'm not having that.
No, I'm being serious. Our squad, I don't want any more. The FA Cup, yes. The virtue you can play your reserves and play the kids. I can get behind that. But for this, I want to get knocked out. I want to get knocked out. I don't care.
You've got a good chance of playing the Premier League team in the next round. So,
but they'll play kids, and I'm not really.
I'm not strictly true, mate. Well,
You get real no money for this competition.
No, but we played Liverpool in this cup a few years ago. They played like Van Dijk and.
I'm not really fussed.
they
I'd rather
played-
focus.
I'm a
Mate,
bit Sheffield
my
United
main aim is getting between 45 and 50 points and staying in the division. If we can do that, we've done well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's another League One Live done for the season. That's well done, mate. Good show. Well
Yeah,
guided.
we're already 4% to the end of the year, aren't we? 50
You guided us through.
We did. A bit like Guy Bell, you guided Burton to safety last year, and Johnny Jackson guided his team to 3 points yesterday. Thanks so much for watching.
I can't wait for you to lose a game, by the way. I cannot wait for you to lose a game. And next weekend, who have you got next weekend?
Bromley away.
Oh, for God's sake. Come on, Bromley. I'd love it. I'd love it if we beat them.
No.
Come on,
But I'll be the same when we lose, because, look, never get to... I've not really,
it's only August.
Before we go, have I picked Fleetwood up? No. Have I said we're going to go up? No. All I've said is
not on broadcast, you haven't, no.
Before
Earlier
when
this
you rang me,
afternoon on FaceTime, we are going up.
I never said that. I'll get you done for slander because I never did that. We were talking about other things as well that I need your advice with. So,
such as the thumbnail, you are welcome.
Thanks very much, mate. Thanks for watching. Please like if this is your first time watching League One Live. Yes, we are like this every week. Thanks for watching. Subscribe down below. We are close to 17,000 subscribers now. A big welcome to the newly 15 people that have joined the channel and subscribed during this episode. Until next time, I will see you later. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you, Jake. Thank you all. And for now, bye all.
Bloody handsome devils, them two.
They're not bad, are they?
That clip doesn't exist, David. Shut up.
Yeah, he just sent it me.
No, don't play it, Ben. Don't play it. That's what he wants. Imps away, I like it, Imps away, I like it,
E-I, 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 E-I-O. Up the football we go when we win the league. This is what we'll sing. We are Fleetwood, Pilly is our king. By the way, the day that we win the league this year, Jake, all I'm going to say, right, I'm going to be very, very hungover. And this isn't the voice of Ben Knappman, this is AI, by the way. So when we get relegated, AI is good. AI is class these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so realistic, isn't it? Even sounds like you've got a lisp like you do in real life. Oh, hi. I've had my leg out then. That look weird, that, doesn't it?
We're into extra time. We've got 1 minute left. 1 minute left.
1 minute? Why have we got a minute left? What are we doing for a minute?
Well, we can end it now, mate.
We're going to end it now?
Thanks for watching, guys.
Cheers, folks.